Hey everyone, happy 36th, 37th day of lives. I totally can't even recall. Um, a happy Tuesday. I just saw something breaking news go across my screen, and the crazy thing is, I don't even feel the need to look because it seems like everything has been breaking news for the past 5 years, right? 60, what is this? 2014? Yeah, 5 years. So anywho, hey everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I wanted to bring my phone because we are not going to be here long tonight. I actually have to see my family before they head south for the holidays, well, the ones that are heading south. So, yeah, so welcome, 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 everyone. I am going to start off with a little celebration of my own. More accomplished. Another thing checked off the list. I haven't opened it yet, so I'm going to open it. Another thing checked off the list in the Stay Ready protocol with getting all our documents in order. Many of you know that I talked about your driver's license. So my driver's license was scheduled to expire in May. But why not? Why not get all of that taken care of now? Just like with my passport was scheduled to expire in May as well. But we're going, oh, I think I scratched out my personal information, but we're going to open the envelope together. Address needs to be hidden. Because not everybody is. So this, I ripped it in half. This is the other side of the address thing. I'm going to rip off my driver's license, DMV. Here's my license. I don't think there's any. So I'm not going to turn it around, but this is my driver's license. I have another thing checked off the list. Woohoo! So that's what we're going to do. We're going to celebrate all of our audacious actions and staying ahead of the curve instead of being behind the curve, because this definitely was an audacious action for me to still have 5.5 months left before. Oh my gosh. It looks so different. And what are these things on the side? I'm going to have to investigate that later. But anyway, welcome, 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 guys. Good to see you back. I'm going to say hi to some people, go over the agenda, get into the conversation. Well, we're going to talk about the homework assignment last. Hopefully, some of you got to watch that video, but we're going to talk about that last. We could talk about your thoughts and the key points that I think need to be called out. But we're going to start early with my introduction, and then we're going to get into saying hi to Gym Nation and then getting into the topic. So, hey, everyone, welcome back. I am Kim, aka Kim with the Gems, founder and creator of Black Travel and Culture Community across all social media platforms. This channel used to be called Black Travel and Culture. It is now called simply Kim, aka Kim with the Gems. And we talk all things wellness, travel, and finance from a cultural perspective, a cultural point of view. And so this past month plus, we're about 36, 37 days. We started on November 10th. We are going live every single day as part of a movement in community for us to get ready so we don't have to stay ready, based on the changing of the guard that is happening in just over a month's time, right? But it's technically already happened. We talked about that last night. And, there's a new sheriff in town. There's going to be some new rules and regulations, and many of them will not be to our benefit. And so I want us to go ahead in community, support each other on ways that we can activate, right? Stay hyper focused, right? And get the things done that can give us a better chance at success through whatever changes that are coming. So, oh my gosh, I'm only 2 people away from Shay, I haven't even had a chance to look at that number today. So, woohoo! Thank you, Christine R. So, anyway, so just wanted to say hi to the peoples who are either new. If you're new, welcome. If you're an OG, welcome back. If you came somewhere in the middle, welcome back. I've had a great time in this process. I have met some incredible people, not only through our daily lives, but through some of the coaching calls and consultations. And I must say, listen, let me just share a little something. So when I first started this, I shared how I've been doing consultations for Mexican residency, right? And I've been doing this for at least 2.5, 3 years now. 2.5 years, so 2022, right? 99% of my clients did not look like me, did not look like us. 99% of my clients that found me on Black Travel and Culture YouTube channel or other social media platforms with the name being Black Travel and Culture, 99% of the people that hired me knew that having options was their way to go. And for whatever reason, they connected to me and wanted me to help them in the process of moving or getting residency in Mexico. Fast forward to this movement, these past 30 something days, I have had multiple clients. Only one has not looked like me. So that has been a change. But again, I will help anyone. I will help support. Hold on a second. Hold on. I will help support anyone who needs assistance in that area, right? And so saying all that to say, of the clients that I've had since this initiative started, everyone except two of them, and that's because they're recent, right? They're recent. Everyone except two have either gotten their visas already for Mexican residency, their temporary visa here in the US, or they have scheduled their appointments for January. The latest is January so far. And so I just want to say thank you for everyone who has put their trust in me, who has been on this journey, because I know it can be scary and seem daunting and seem like a lot of paperwork that you have to get together. But I just want to thank you, and thank you for doing the work. Thank you for putting in the effort and getting the job done. I have a couple more calls this week. And so hopefully, fingers crossed, their success will be similar. So anyway, I'm going to say hi to some people. I'm going to get into the agenda, and we're out of here no later than 9 p.m. Hey, just one, my soon-to-be neighbor in Mexico. Hey, Moni. My local news channel has been talking about unclaimed money for the past 2 days. The state is working to make. God bless you, because they're not doing that here. Congrats. I mean, hopefully people will take heed, but the sad thing is many won't. And I know this for facts. But congratulations to everyone who has found. That's another thing. You guys are just giving me the energy that I need. Y'all are my vitamin C tablets, my extra boost of energy to keep this movement going. Hey, Crystal Flame. Oh, wonderful, 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 wonderful. Let me say hi to, hey, Elishiva. Alicia, I hope I'm saying that right. Welcome back. Hey, cousin Casper 330. Hey, WM from SC. Hey, extraterrestrials. Good to see you. Hey, Christine R. Hey, Patricia Carroll. Hey, Cynthia from ATL. Good to see you. LaRonda is back in the building. Good to see you. Hey, Ebad, welcome back. Hey, Solar Belichick, good to see you as well. The ABX girl is back in the building. And Christine R says, I'm only two subscribers away from 10K. So if you are in the building right now and you have not subscribed to this channel, come on, get me over that hump. Get me over the 10K hump. Literally, it has been a hump. And like I said, I know this to be true. I know people who have made like the 10K, 100K mark, and they say that past couple of weeks. Getting to that number is just intense. So if you have not subscribed, please subscribe now. If you have not liked this video, it helps. Please hit the like button. It helps to get the content out to people who are like you, who think like you, who want to be here like you, even if you don't know them. So thank you. So you did watch the video. Good, good, good. We're going to talk about that. I'm telling you, when I haven't put in my order yet, hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to put in my order for Amazon. I just need to figure out when I'm going to be home because I live in a building and I just prefer to be home when they deliver. So I need to figure out when I'm going to put in that order, but I'm going to do a celebratory acknowledgement every time someone comes here with good news. So I just did a screenshot of that. Good. So there are people who have watched the video. Good, good, good. Hey, Shell S, good to see you back. I know, Christine, I don't know where DL Ross is, and I don't know how to contact her. There's I think a couple DL Rosses, and so I don't even know if I could contact her on YouTube, but yeah. Hey, Kim, I've been waiting for you to get to that 10K. It's right around the corner. It's coming. That's why I don't stress it. I am truly not I'm quality over quantity. That's just how I've always been. I don't need a huge audience. I just need one that's engaged and committed. But it is something about when you do hit that 10K, it helps to get it puts you, it's not in a huge bracket, but you are a little bit, I forgot, it's like a smaller percentage. Is it like only 3% or 4%? I forgot. So they start to push your content out to more people, the right people, even though it's all bots running it now. So I don't know what it's going to mean in the future. But long story short, yes, it would be nice to finally get over the hump. So yes, thank you for the support, the Maxine Show. Hey, Anita Leach. You just sent link. Oh, so that one. I just sent the link to my sister. So that's one. The link for the homework assignment or the link for finding the money. I'm not sure which link you're talking about. And maybe you weren't talking to me. So, hey, Stephanie, welcome back. And hey, the Charlies, welcome back. So let's get into, I wrote down so I don't have to flip back and forth. So the first thing we did, I wanted to show you guys that I am part of the Stay movement, the Stay Ready movement as well. I showcased how I just received my driver's license renewal. It wasn't due to be renewed until May, when my birthday is of 2025. But I just went and got it done, just like I'm telling y'all to get it done, because I don't know what bureaucracy is going to look like in the coming weeks. And New York City, we got a lot going on. New York State, we got a lot going on between our mayor and all these indictments and the that and the this and the that. So anyway, I've already introduced myself. Want to give you an outline of, what tonight's topic is going to be about. So like last night, we already talked about audacious action, right? We talked about being not comfortable with the status quo of our lives, the status quo of what we've been doing. We need to be audacious. And audacious is a word that I think mentally, right? The mindset is key, right? Mindset matters. We need to come up with words that are really going to get us to take that action, to activate. So we talked about being, having audacious actions this week, which was yesterday. Last week, we talked about staying hyper-focused, right? So talked about staying hyper-vigilant, hyper-focused, so that we can accomplish these things, whatever these things are, and they're going to look different to different people. And tonight, we're going to talk about finding our place in the world, wherever that is, if that's the US, if that's abroad, wherever that is, but finding our place in the world where we are not just tolerated, we are celebrated, or at least appreciated, right? So they don't have to, get the bullhorns and the pom-poms out every time you walk down the street, but you are appreciated. Your contributions to whatever community you're in are appreciated versus tolerated, which is the direction that we know that this country is moving into. And so there is a little 7-step strategy. We're not going to be here for a long time, right? We're going to be here for a good time. A 7-step strategy that I'm just going to quickly go over. It gets more in depth. We'll see how much time we have, because at the end, I also want to hear who has an opinion of the video that I shared by Chase yesterday. Powerful video, in my opinion, and something that the others are using to plan their next moves or their best moves, or how they're consuming media, right? Because we just talked about the whole corporate media game, the whole commercial media game, and how we may not be getting no, we're not. Let me stop. Let me stop tiptoeing around that one. We're not getting the most Lord Jesus, someone just got a pig kidney transplant. Okay, I keep the news on now only because of some things that's going on in New York right now. But someone just got a pig kidney someone put a pig kidney in their body. Good Lord. Are we that afraid of the afterlife? Or do we not have, anyway? So, okay. Well, I guess that's an audacious action, right? I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to judge. I kind of am, but I'm not going to. So there's a 7-step strategy that we'll quickly go over. And then we talk about the psychological warfare, right? The psychological warfare video that I shared in the description yesterday, and asked that you watch, simply because it kind of also puts into context what we've been talking about and addressing about the news media and what may be to come, and why I said I do not. Someone was like, have I seen any of the drones? I'm not even looking for the drones, right? When something is so far above me and above my grade that no matter if I see it or if I don't see it, nothing's going to change, right? Then I can't. I don't have the bandwidth, the mental bandwidth to consume that or try to look up. And then I look up and I see it, then how is that going to affect me? What am I going to, I can't do nothing. The cops can't do anything. Matter of fact, the federal government has instructed state and local officials not to do anything. So listen, I don't want to see anything. And so I haven't seen anything, thank goodness. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this 7-step strategy. Now, I'm not going to pull up the strategy. I'm first just going to go over the 7 steps. So this, if anybody comes in, after the fact, you can listen to the summary, and then I'll kind of deep dive those 7 steps. Hold on a second. Is that not the right? Oh, here it is. Here's the summary. And like I said, I'm going to try to quickly deep dive it. I'm going to just do the summary of the 7 steps that we need to start implementing, asking ourselves, taking action on, if we want to be audacious and put ourselves in places where we are appreciated and or celebrated. There's no reason for us to be in places where we are tolerated. What that does to the psyche, what that does to the mind, will stop you from being audacious, will stop you from taking whatever moves it is that you should be taking, that you need to take, you and or your family. So here's a quick summary. First, we need to reflect, right? We need to reflect and assess our current environments and identify where we are. Are we being tolerated? Are we being celebrated? Are we being appreciated? And if it's somewhere in the middle, be honest with that too, but don't straddle the fence. Don't say, oh, it's kind of in the middle. How is it in the middle? In what areas or what ways are you being tolerated? In what ways are you being celebrated? Some people, it's black and white. Some people know I'm good. Like, people appreciate me where I'm at, rather it's my career, rather it's my neighborhood, the state that I live in, the country. Like, you see yourself being appreciated and you don't see that changing, God bless you. That's not many Black women. That's not many Black men in this country specifically. So be honest with yourself. Where do you fall on that spectrum? Are you Tolerated, appreciated, celebrated, right? And identify where your needs are, right? You have to clarify what your needs are in order to feel. So this is number two, right? This is number two. In order to feel appreciated and or celebrated, right? And a celebration is good. Like I like a good acknowledgement, a good celebration every now and then. I don't thrive off of that, but as long as my presence is not and I did want to play, I'll play it tomorrow. As long as my presence is not giving you angst and making your energy, off and come at me in a way that you just don't really want to deal with me. Listen, all I need is appreciate that. I just need to be in a place where my presence is accepted, it's warm, it is um like I said, I don't need the pom-poms and the whistles blown. Don't need that at all. So that's what my needs are. So identify what your needs are to feel valued and to be able to thrive, because when you are in an environment where you're just being tolerated, you're not going to be able to thrive. And if you need, I started to do the definitions of each word, but listen, if you're not sure what tolerated means, Google it. And you'll know if that's how you feel or not, right? And some of us, we may have felt appreciated 2 months ago, and then now 2 months later, we're like, oh hell, wait, didn't you just celebrate my accomplishments back this summer? And now you won't even speak to me. Now you won't even look me in my eye. Now I see you smirking at the water cooler. Like, or if you're in your community, the neighbors aren't waving anymore. Like all of those things. And I've heard stories and examples of all of that. And so real life stories and examples. And so identify your needs. Also, number 3, please, please, please know your worth. Don't, like Beyonce said, don't let nobody tell you. Don't let nobody tell you how powerful you are, how beautiful you are, how smart you are. Recognize your own values, your own unique contributions, and remind yourself that you deserve to be in uplifting environments. Like whatever that looks like to you. I have this book and I was promoting it a couple years ago. I don't know even know if it's still online, but if it is, you could go to my Amazon link in the description or just Google it. It's called Ancestors Said. And it's a 365-day, it's a book with 365 quotes from the ancestors. And when I tell you the type of spiritual connection and upliftment that I get from this book, and I don't read it every single day. Some days I forget. Some days I'm feeling, I guess, okay enough where I'm like, do I really need? And sometimes I just like to save and read like 3 at a time, right? But it's called Ancestors Said. And I did a whole recap video, not a whole, but I did I'll insert this. If you're watching later, I'll remember to insert it here. Let me see what minute I'm at. 23:35. And you could check out that video up here. And so, yeah, so, oh yeah, absolutely. I saw your comment, Christine, when I just looked. Absolutely. I will love to solicit your help, but wait till when I finish going over this list, we'll, is there someone in here? Do I need to? No. Okay. But I would love you. Thank you, Christina. Let me write that down too. Okay. So back to the list. So know your worth, right? And know that you deserve to be in places where you are at least at minimum at the base level appreciated. Because anything less than that is tolerated, right? Or it's just melancholy. And you don't want that either. Nobody knows if you're around or could care less, right? Set boundaries. Number 4. Listen, we are all going to probably be put in more and more positions where we are going to have to set boundaries, right? We are going to have to create clear boundaries to protect our emotional and mental well being. And that could be at work, that could be at play, that could be on the softball field with your kids, or the soccer field with your kids, or at the gym, wherever it is. We are going to have to set boundaries. When you start to see someone treating you different, acting different, all of us aren't as vocal as the next, right? Some of us are, will say whatever comes on their mind, and there's everything that falls under that, right? So I understand that some of us can't be as vocal. So even for the people who are a little bit more meek and quiet, do not subject yourself to situations that are going to cause you angst. You have to set those boundaries, and those boundaries may be to up and leave that gym, up and leave that community, up and leave that country, like whatever it is. But you have to set boundaries in order for this to be successful, in order for you to be in a place where you, in order for you to find your place, in order for you to find your place in the world. And so, number 5, we only got 3 more to go, 5, 6, and 7. Number 5 is to take gradual steps, right? Just like I always say, if someone needs to lose 100 pounds and all they focus on is that they need to lose 100 pounds, the chances of them losing 100 pounds is lessened, right? But if you know you have to lose 100 pounds, you divide those 100 pounds by 10 months. That is 10 pounds per month, or even a year, whatever the time frame is that you choose to go after. And you take it month by month. You break up that month. I don't really, when I say weight loss, I never really like to focus on weeks, because as women, especially, depending on time of the month, depending on water, retaining water, I don't like to focus on weeks when you talk about weight loss. But if you talk about months, if you know you only have to lose 10 pounds every month for 10 months, that does something with the psyche, right? It's bite size, it's digestible, right? It's easily digestible numbers versus focusing on large numbers. If you are $10,000 in debt, thinking about $10,000 paying something off is a lot more scary and a lot more frightening, and does a lot more to our psyche than thinking about, oh, well, if I pay 1,000, and this is still may be a big number, right? But I'm just doing for math's sake. If I pay 1,000 off every other month, it will take me 20 months. So $500 a month will take me 20 months to pay off $10,000, and to think about paying off $10,000. So again, take gradual steps in whatever it is that you need to achieve. Unless you can jump in, like I'm a jump in type person. If I can't get it done in a short time frame just to check it off the list, that's just how my mind works. But it's not necessary. You can make small intentional changes to transition towards those spaces that you have identified that you need to be in, right? So again, if we're talking about your job, okay, if you know this is a place where you're only being tolerated, and you know that this is against your value system, your what you feel comfortable in, then it's the planning. It's starting, week by week. What am I going to do to get out of this situation? And we talked about this yesterday. It's not get up and just quit your job. If you need your job, if you need the income, if you need the security, if you need the insurance, work the system. Work the system to get all of this accomplished. So that's when we talked about the FMLA Act, as well as short-term disability, and getting some money as you take small steps to get to where you need to be. Not everyone's going to need to leave their job. They may not be, in a hostile work environment or functioning in high depression. But if that is you, take small steps. And we are going to have the lawyer who's part of Gym Nation, and oh my goodness, Latrice is her name. We're working on dates where she can come in and talk more about all of this to help us from a legal standpoint on how to go from being tolerated to appreciated and then celebrated, to go to how to make audacious moves, how to do the things that we will probably need to do to protect ourselves as part of the Stay Ready movement going forward. And the last two, so number 6 is cultivating relationships, right? That is what we're doing here, right? We are celebrating each other here, right? There is no such thing as tolerating. Like I say, even in this community, I don't mind people having opposing views, right? If it's based in fact. I can't deal with people who don't get us. I can't deal with people who don't get the plight of Black Americans in this country. If it's not, if the debate, or if the contradiction, or what word am I looking for? If what you're sharing in this community is not rooted in a real, pure, genuine way of saying, well, no, it's not really like that, this is what I've experienced, then we're not tolerating that here. This is a safe space, right? This is going to be a safe space for both Black men and women. And so when it comes to relationships in this community, it's all about appreciating and celebrating one another, no matter where we are in the journey. No matter if we're at the beginning saying, well, you know what, I don't know if I want to leave this country. Or if we're at the journey where my bags are packed, I got my visa, I'm leaving in January. No matter where we are as far as the career, right? So again, cultivate relationships both online and offline, right? And so part of that video that I said, I thought it would be good to watch the psychological warfare video. He talked about this is a better time than ever to make sure you know your neighbors, right? And he's speaking from a white man's point of view, but I co-sign that, because you also want to know who could be allies and who could be, don't knock on this door if you need anything, because I may pull out the toot toot and you may get the poop poop. Where did that come from? So again, knowing the relationships that you can rely on and the ones that you can't is also good in building this, going from tolerated or not knowing where you are in a situation to being celebrated or appreciated. And then number 7 is to practice patience and self-compassion. There are people that will knock themselves over the head harder than anyone else will. And I've seen it in this community. I've seen people say, I can't do this. I'm not, they self-sabotage. And like I said, this community is all about finding solutions, dropping gems, helping, each one teach one. And part of that is that, one, we need to practice patience. Rome was not built in a day. So if we are starting from the bottom, we gonna get here, right? We gonna help each other get here. And that's what this movement is all about. So don't knock yourself over the head if you feel you are seeing other people comment where you want to be, like, I got this, I did that, and you're still in the process of trying. That's okay. Let's practice patience and have compassion for ourselves. If you are in this community, if you are coming to this community, if you are trying to find the knowledge and the gems, give yourself a round of applause, because, this is something new and different for so many of us. And that's why even when we did the live yesterday about being audacious, right? These are the words we have to start saying to ourselves. Like, listen, these other people who feel entitled are being audacious. They are doing things that people say cannot be done. Why can't I do that? Why can't I do things that my family said I can't do or shouldn't do or this and that? So practice patience and self-compassion. So in summary, again, please reflect, assess your current environment. Please identify your needs and get clarity on what it is that you need to feel valued and thrive in whatever environment that is. Number 3, know your worth. Recognize your unique contributions and remind yourself every day, over and over again, whenever that weight gets heavy, whenever that doubt, the seed of doubt sets in, remind yourself that you deserve to be in uplifting environments. Number 4, set boundaries. Create clear boundaries to protect your emotional and mental well-being. Period. Number 5, take gradual steps. Easily digestible steps is what I like to say, right? You take a bite-sized piece of something. If you're eating a, steak, you're not going to woof the whole steak down your mouth. You're going to cut it up, take a piece, chew it up, and then swallow. So take gradual steps to for your intentional changes that you are looking to make in order to get yourself in spaces that will celebrate you more. Cultivate those relationships. And again, it's not about quantity, it's about quality, right? So whatever those relationships are, if they're in social media, right? And again, I always put the asterisk, don't trust everybody you meet on social media, right? Y'all get to see my face. Y'all have a lot of information about me, but the people in the comments, not so much. So just, cultivate relationships, but be smart about it, right? If it's online. And then also cultivate those in your surroundings, rather it's work, rather it's like I said, if you're in school, whatever that looks like, start to cultivate relationships so you know who's an ally, who's not, who you can turn to in the case of something going amiss or awry, and who you can't. And then practice patience and self-compassion. And again, I just want us to know that when I talk about like things like being audacious or being hyper focused and all of that, it's all to get us to this place of knowing we deserve so much more than what they are trying to tell us we deserve. Period, exclamation point. And so we have given too much to this land. We have given too much to their wealth for us not to live the best lives that we want, rather it's here or someplace else. And so before we get into talking about that video, I just want to see if there's any questions. I love Atomic Habits by James Clear. I really do love that book. Okay, I just saw that, so let me go down the list. And if you're here and you didn't hear me the first time, I was told we are two people away from the 10,000 subscriber number. Please go ahead. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and try to get us over that 10K hump. I'd appreciate it. Hit the like button if you're here as well. And also share this video for somebody that you think can benefit from, these quick 7 steps. I'm going to see if I have time to go in detail. Maybe I'll do a whole separate video about going into detail on those 7 steps and what that looks like, because I did have way more information, but I do have to check out. I can't lie this time. I have to be impeccable with my word to others and be done by 9 o'clock. So there are certain questions that you would ask yourself. Do I feel valued and respected here? Am I forced to shrink myself to fit in? Do I feel drained and energized in this environment? And your goal, and this is reflecting on your current environment, your goal is to identify places or relationships where you are simply tolerated versus where you are truly celebrated. So I'm going to do a pre-produced video or one. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Perfect. Tomorrow's our 10 p.m. weekly wrap up Q&A chit chat, right? So tomorrow I'm going to go over the questions you need to ask yourself. We'll have more time, and then you can, I might even do like one of those docs again. I like a good doc. So anyway, so let's see. did I go back there for something else? Okay, let me see. Any questions? If there's any questions, please go ahead and put the Q in front or the QQQ. Let me know. But let me just go ahead and say hi. So, yeah, we celebrated just one. I'm so happy about that. We talked about DL. Oh, she is sorely missed. Did I say hi to? Yep, I said hi. I said hi to Stephanie. I said hi. I think the Charlies was the last one. Stephanie said unapologetic. I don't remember what that was in reference to. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate that. You're at least appreciate. Oh, at least, yes, we absolutely need to at least be appreciated. That is it. That is it. I posted in my community tab a little while ago, an old time buddy by the name of Michael Vick just was announced the head football coach at Norfolk State University, which is a HBCU. And anyone who knows that man, he's a good man. Like, he's a really good person who got caught up back in the day and, had to pay the price, which the fact that he had to do time. Anyway, and so I posted about him being audacious because he continued to press forward when people had counted him out. One of the most talented athletes in multiple sports, but never got to live out his full potential, right? As a professional athlete. And now through his perseverance, through him not listening to people to tell him to go under a rock and just hide, right? He has now fulfilled a dream of coaching, and it's at an HBCU. And so God has his own plans, right? God has his own plans, and he is still so respected. I don't watch the NFL anymore because of Colin, Kaepernick, but I am still, there are certain people that just warm my heart, and Mike Vick is one of them. And the fact that he is implementing exactly what I believe in, like, listen, you just got to be about that action. You got to keep showing up. And I'm not saying, I hate to use the word work, but hard work, right? What's the saying? Hard work will always trump talent when talent doesn't work hard. All that means is if you continue to show up, if I continue to show up, then people are going to be affected. It's just that simple. Everyone's not going to be affected or inspired or take action, but there will be people that will. If I stop showing up, not saying they will never be, but the people that are being affected by me, won't be. So anyway, saying all that to say, yeah, that video was something else, wasn't it? A pig kidney. Yes, 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 child. Yes. Hey, Miss Roni. I think it's all just to try to keep us from, not only to keep us from focusing what's important. Let's be on the lookout of what's a brewing. What is a brewing? But I agree, it's definitely a distraction. Hey, Janice, welcome. If you decide, yes, okay, I got you, Christine R. So I don't think we need one tonight, but I definitely am going to add you. I will add you when I go online, when I go, go on the back end to answer questions before tomorrow, I will add you. So thank you. Sorry. Very important boundaries. People will always introduce themselves with a question. I've gotten away, totally away, all way. Very, very important boundaries. People who always introduce themselves with a question. I need an example. So when I do that, I'm thinking, like, I'm thinking in my head, like, what, introduce yourself with a question. So I'm trying to play out something. Hi, I'm Kim. How are you? I don't know what question you mean. So, yes, I highly recommend Atomic Habits by James Clear. How we don't have to do it, whatever it is, all at once. Yeah, and he talks about when he was what was he, a football player, athlete in high school? I mean, college. He compares how he was in high school to how he was in college and the habits that he started implementing. Great book, great book, great book. You got to feel you deserve it. You definitely do, but you can get to a point where you feel that. So even if you don't feel it now, there are things you can do to implement in your life to get you to a point where you feel and know, because there's many of us, especially in our communities, don't feel like we deserve much of anything. And that's why many of us are in situations that we tolerate, right? That we just say, okay, this is it. If something falls through, try again. You're worth the effort 100%. You're 100%. Listen, so I think most of you who have been here for a while, I pause because I don't want to go back into my history because I've shared it before, but I have been in sales for many, many years. And the one thing that you learn early on in sales is that be appreciative of that no. When someone says no, I'm not interested, that is just one person closer to that yes. And so you literally have to realize that your failures are lessons. You're going to learn something from that no that that person gave you. Like you'll learn something about either your behavior, their behavior, something you could have done more research, whatever it is, you're going to learn something. Just like a failure, if you start a business, it fails. Most people who become millionaires or billionaires, it's like on their 10th try, at least, right? They've had 10 other businesses that have failed before they get to success. And so you just have to keep trying again. And that applies in your life as well. Yes, please like, hey, T Gainer Jennings. We are yes, 2 ways. Okay, hopefully, I don't know where, I'm not going to look right now because I do. Yes, love Mike Vick. and easy on the eye. Can I say that? Still to this day. And respect to his wife. What's her name? Keisha, I think. Respect to her. Yeah. Yep. He's doing, yep. Very talented. Very talented. Oh, really? So that's right, Atlanta. That's right. Wasn't he a Falcon? Yes. Yes, good man. Good man. Hey, Tony Africa from Kenya, the motherland. When they see you, Kim questions, cute, not a conversation. Patricia, what does that mean? Oh, I do want to talk about the video, so I'm going to take Elshiva's, oh gosh. You told me I was right, but I don't know what I was right with. I've been through some tough situations where I realized that I was being tolerated and not celebrated, and to walk away from those friendships, it was hard, but I have peace of mind now. Yeah, listen, this year was also, in addition to accountability and attention being my 2 key words, it was also the year of least resistance. Let me tell you something. If I had to work hard for anything as it related to a relationship or friendship, oh yeah, no. Listen, I have friends that I don't care. I have friends that if I'm not the one sending the invitation out, I will not see them. I will not hear from them. Now they'll say yes to every invitation that I send out. So rather, whatever it is, I'm not paying for the stuff. I'm just saying if it's to do something or to hang out, oh, they down, they're with it. But never once will they be like, oh, you want to go do this? You want to go do that? I've had other friends, oh, you're the better planner. You do this. Well, guess what? I'm not planning no more. So are we going to see each other or we not? Because I'm not planning nothing no more. I'm tired. I was tired. As tired, and I want some reciprocity. And so saying all that to say, that has given me such peace of mind. Child, who knew? Because then God will fill those spaces with people who reciprocate, and you don't have to question, well, why am I the only one doing this, or why am I the only one doing that? And so at the end of the day, I'm not saying these are bad people. I'm not saying we're not friends. I'm just saying this is my season to do the path of least resistance. And I have not had a dull moment during the season. And so sometimes you have to put those boundaries. No, you do have to put those boundaries. Yeah, Tony's back in the building. You have to walk away from those really. Yeah, no, I got you. I totally got you. 99 no's to get that one yes. See the light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, 100%. You know, it's not always going to be that way. You may not have to. It's even like finding the right mate, right? What they say, you have to kiss a lot of frogs to get to that prince, or vice versa, you know? And so you just have to be patient. That's where that patience comes in at, right? Practicing patience, and also not being so hard on yourself. So practicing patience and self-compassion will get you over those humps. And so let's go over quickly what that video said. So if you didn't see the video that I said it would be good for us to watch, you can check out the link for last night's live, which was all about being audacious. You don't even have to you don't have to watch the video. In the description, it is the second link. It says right under Chase, there's a link for a YouTube video that I think should be high on your priority list to get through. It's only 20 minutes. You could fast forward. I mean, watch it on the higher speed, get through it quick, take some notes though. And I took some. And so let me share what I learned. So basically the question was, are we in the middle of a psychological warfare? And for those of you who don't know, this is a strategy for war. Like, this is real. This is not something, made up, fear mongering. Psychological warfare is part of a game plan to take out the enemy, right? To subdue the enemy, to get the enemy to fall in line. And so basically that was the question. Are we in the middle of psychological operation or warfare right now? And he talked about the UFOs, right? He talked about how this country went from silence. Oh, we don't know what a UFO is. Oh, to hyperfixating, the government hyperfixating on the topic of UFOs, right? And he talked about the reasons why this could be happening. The reasons include, do me a favor, put in the comment, if you watch that video, comment, what was the best part of that video in your eyes? Like, what information did you get? Because I saw somebody say, ooh, that video, what struck you the most in that video? Where you were like, ooh, right? Just do me a favor and put that in the comments, because I do want to see what y'all are saying. He said the reasons why I could be prepping for something, a bigger agenda, a distraction tactic for something else that is happening, or using it as a fear tool. Fear is a great equalizer, right? The great motivator, he said, but it's also an equalizer. When you have people stuck in fear, like stuck in the house, like for those couple of years, you can get them to do a lot of things. The masses, not everybody, but you can get the masses to conform in a lot of ways, right? Fear unites people to trust leaders, to give up your freedoms, and to rally behind whatever solutions they suggest or impose, right? And this is all part of psychological warfare. They're getting in your mind to control it. They want to control your mind and have complete control over any authority that you thought you had, right? He gave examples of when it was used in the past, but almost every major conflict that we've had, psychological warfare has been part of that. He also talked about it could be that we're testing the waters, or they're testing the waters to see how we're going to react. And under that, what may be happening first is a normalization phase, right? So they keep spitting out this information so that, and this includes what's going on with the political scene too. It's not just the drones and the UFOs, it's the political scene. And so there's a normalization phase to keep people curious but not panicked. So there, the little bit of information here, a little bit, it starts to seep in, and you start to be like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Before the panic sets in. Setting the stage for a big reveal. It could be something that they want to reveal. So the setup is happening now. A need for, but then once the reveal happens, there will be a need for a savior. Once that threat, once so there the reveal happens, then there's a threat, then we need someone to get us, we need someone to save us, right? We need a savior. And so I'm gonna see what your comments say, and then I'm gonna, because I have lots of notes, child. Yeah, I see it's thank you, Christine. 8:56. I may go a couple minutes over, but as long as it's just a couple minutes, because I'm only like 5 minutes away, so that's not bad. So I just want to see what the 99. Okay, yes. The fact that governments have been doing this since forever, ever, like, yes, 9/11, Cold War, Vietnam, the list goes on. There are biblical references where psychological warfare was used, right? It was probably called something different, but yes, thank you, Shell S. WM, that the FBI didn't know anything, just like other tech. Listen, used in the past. Listen, anyone who's watched Snowfall, this is why I want us to again be, and because he even talked about how are our resources, right, for our communities. Most of our community is not going to do this, not going to research this type of information. But Snowfall, I was referencing the COINTELPRO, I think that's how you say it. Like, all of that was real. But the masses, they had us thinking something else. So anyway, there are so many examples that we can talk about where this was used. When he said, you begin to trust the leader, so you will give up all freedom, so they will just fix the problem. Non-existing Larunda, child, like everything everyone has said, but giving up your freedoms because you need to be saved and you trust everything that is being said and done. And now with a new general in charge, especially who's trying to control in a whole different way through oligarchy, through dictatorship, through fascism, whatever you want to call it, all of these things are going to start happening now. How the drones are a distraction to scare so much while they're putting Project 2025. Well, he didn't say that. But listen, you make your own deductions, right? Exactly. And it's not just Project 2025, it's so many other things. It's the NATO, it's the interactions he has with these other, world powers, like it's nuclear, it's a whole bunch of things. But of course, yes, Project 2025, the all the stuff that's in the Heritage Foundation document, all the stuff that's in Project 2025, all the stuff that they've been telling us they're going to do to women, against women, et cetera, et cetera. Grump is the savior, 100%, 100%. And we are going to all fall in line. And when I say all, not me, but, the masses will, because Chase started, if it's a distraction, don't focus on. He stated, yeah, if it's a distraction, don't focus on. He also broke down like how to analyze the news and all of that. And so I want to talk more about this tomorrow when we meet up, because there's so many gems. I have so many pages of notes. Not so many. Let me stop being dramatic. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 pages of notes from a 20-minute video. But these are strategies that I've also learned. So I take notes because I want to compare it to like the Google Scholar docs when it comes to psychological warfare or war tactics, right? So it's not just psychological. There's other strategies that I can go over. Can I just share before I leave? There was this person I was following. He was a scholar. He was a professor at, I can't remember, Cal State. I don't remember which college in California. He was giving the real, like he was sharing some things that could be potentially happening when we were all pretty much confined over for a couple of years. And he was sharing some information, but basing it on like strategy of war tactics. All of a sudden, this very healthy man is no longer healthy and no longer with us. All of a sudden, every document that I researched, can't find on the internet. No more. All gone. Goodbye. And so very peculiar. I won't, there's some things I should share, but this is Google, so I'm not going to share it. But yeah, just very strange things. Also the fact that our technology with AI can really make a crisis seem real. Well, he also talked about using like AI as well. He did talk about how the deep state, right? The deep fake, right? He did talk about that, but he talked about going to chat GPT for some, to ask questions and analyze things so it comes out. What did he say? Because that's part of my notes. He said, when you go to AI, be concise. When you ask them to interpret certain things, ask it to be concise and non-political in their answer. And it's a robot, so it's going to do that. It's just a robot. So again, he has two outlooks on AI. Like AI will be responsible for some deep fake. They could create the things we think we're seeing, right? They're illusions. They could create those. So yeah, it amazes me how far these people will to go to control people. 100%. Everything you said about distraction was my takeaway. Yes, they repeat the cycle. 100%. He said to pay attention to when the psyops happen. Psyops, yeah, psychops, yeah, happens. He mentioned Project Bluebeam. Yes, I haven't even, because he said if once you start looking that up, you may be up all night. I was like, ain't nobody got time for that. I trust what you say, and we will do, and what we need to do to protect ourselves mentally. 100%. If you can keep cash on hand, yes. That was the last thing I had. What did he say? He said, if there's a power outage and you have, if there's a power outage, you have zero money if you have no cash. So to keep some cash, if you're able to keep some cash, because if there's the grid, they shut down the grid. Another reason why we're keeping our paperwork, because the grid could be shut down, but if the bank is open and you can prove something like this, you may be able to get something, right? If you have nothing and there's no grid, if you have nothing to validate what you had or verify what you had, you're in trouble. So yes, he said, basically, he said, I wasn't going to say this, or I don't want to say this, something like that. He said, but if there's a power outage, you have zero cash. If you have zero money, if you don't have cash, and he would recommend, if you can keep cash on hand, I don't care what the amount is, keep some cash on hand. That was a good one, LaRonda. Yes, there's a setup for front followers who think he's Jesus. Shaking my hand, correct. Listen, and more people will start to believe that. E40, I want to be saved. Good night, Kim. Good night, LaRonda. Good night. That's so many pages. You're so funny. Also, if the script is the same from all the media, it's false. That's right. He did say that. He said, run from that. If the propaganda, if everything's, and I have that in my notes too, but we'll talk about that tomorrow too. What stood out to me as well, my mind went back to when I noticed the media doing that during Trump's first term. Yeah. And what they were doing leading up to the election, child. Yeah, they're exactly the first term leading up to the election. And when have they ever, from the time he left office, there was like not one day that he has not consumed the media. They talked about him every single day. That's not normal. I'm going to watch it again and take some in-depth notes so I can better prepare myself spiritually, mentally, and know these beings that they're calling aliens are actually fallen angels, etc. So I do want to say, listen, I don't want anyone to live in fear. I just want you to be prepared, to acknowledge that things could be happening. And it's not like it's not coming from me. These are real tactics that happen to get people to fall in line. And so anyway, it is after 9. It's 9:05. We will be back tomorrow at 10 p.m. Come in your PJs. If you're on the East Coast, if you're on the West Coast, come with your dinner. And I'll be home. So we will have time to just chit chat, and we're going to catch up on everything that's happened since last week. We're going to catch up on the video again. We're going to talk about the breakdown of the steps for us to put ourselves in places where we are celebrated and appreciated. And so we'll be back tomorrow. And everyone have a good night. Thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow we probably will celebrate as well if we're over the 10K number. And bring your celebrations. Bring things that bring things that we could celebrate you on. It doesn't have to be a passport. It doesn't have to be Mexican residency or moving abroad. You're welcome every single day on the media. That's idolatry. Yeah. But people are nervous. And we've been hoodwinked and bamboozled. That was the other video, to believe that media is what we need. You're welcome. You're welcome, Casper. Cousin Casper. One day, we haven't heard that name since the goal. When they ever do that? Where they do that at? But there was a mission. They did it for a reason. All news stations. I was like, if the left wing news stations would just not show him or air him, we'd be okay. But nope. They wanted that money, honey. Rest well, Stephanie. Don't forget to subscribe, please. If you haven't subscribed, hit the like button. Please do so. Good night, Christine. And I won't forget, between tonight and tomorrow, I will add you as a moderator. Hey, Cynthia, have a good night. Hasta mañana. You're welcome, Stephanie. Good night, everybody. Good night, Charlie. I will see everyone tomorrow. Oh, that's not too bad. 1 hour, 5 minutes. Not too bad. No problem, El Shiva. Goodbye, ABX girl. Good night.